Hello, hello. Welcome to Team Fortress TV 2. Today we're covering the match between Perminators and Team CoolestMaster. On the cam I have Azazel, and my co-caster and former teammate is
Ooh,
zeFrosty. I'm sure you all know him.
hello. I'm
How are
very
you
excited
today,
to be here.
zeFrosty?
Yeah, it's going to be good. I've showcased your debut cast, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, indeed.
Oh. Well, you did do one with Fun's last preseason playoff, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure.
did. I had a
But
lot
nothing
of
on
fun doing
TFTV.
Yeah, this is my debut, and
Debut.
it's interesting to be casting with you, considering how much we hang out in Mumble together
Yeah,
and playing on a
I
team
know.
with you
We're
and
practically
raging.
best friends.
Best
Well.
friends. We've had our LAN adventures together.
No,
Proper
I hate
pride.
you so much. That's why I'm here. Just to make this as a painful experience as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am in the server now, so thank God that this
I've
is
joined
going.
as well.
Yeah, I take So do you want to take us through maybe one of the teams? Take us through. I'll give you the honor of going through Perminators if you want.
Okay, so the legends, the almost Goliath in this matchup. We have Cadus on Demoman, Samzy and Cookie on Scouts, respectively. We have Rising and Buttnose on Soldiers, and we have, of course, Permzilla on Medic.
The
The
legend.
legend.
Yeah, I think not to ruin anything, but I think they definitely have the upper hand here just due to like their past experiences. I mean, Team CoolestMaster, I'm pretty sure a lot of these players have either taken a season out, have played in mid. They're, I mean, I don't want to BM anyone, but they're definitely the lowest seed team coming into this
Yeah.
preseason playoff, going against one of the potentially strongest, depending on how their washed up factor kicks in. But I
Yeah.
think it'll be interesting to see how both teams go at least.
I mean, it is Viaduct first, so we do have the tilt ability, I suppose. That is
Yeah,
one of the most tilting maps, as you've probably seen in previous seasons.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's one of those maps where it's very reliant on your scouts, and if you look at Samsy and
Yeah,
Cookie, both of them known to be very, very good DM scouts. I mean, they haven't
yeah,
played in a while. Maybe they're not quite up to standard, but from what I've seen in their like PCWs and stuff like that, they should definitely at least be the strongest players on their team at the very least.
yeah. And I mean, Team CoolestMaster, they do have some talent. Alfie, very good player. Mold has played for a few good teams around the seasons. Kufarel, I know, has been around for quite a while. Shaggy, I'm not sure this. And Silver Toss again has been around for quite a few seasons. Has just played on quite a few top high teams decently well. But in terms of Prem playoffs, when you're going against such legends of the game who actually have mastered the fundamentals, it's quite a big ask, to be
Yeah,
honest.
definitely is. I mean, I know you said you didn't really know who Shaggy was, but I'm pretty sure he's a Prem Highlander player.
All
Prem
right.
Highlander demo is like one of the top, I'm pretty sure, as far as I remember. So, if anything, I know he's got an incredible DM. Like, I was wondering last season why he was in mid, because it seemed like every game that he played was just his four bots going in, feeding for him to like be a DM donkey and kill everything. So, let's hope that having four incredible players around him will sort of allow him to perform at his maximum potential.
Yeah. If I think anything, I think Alfie is going to be setting up pretty much all the plays. He's such a competent roamer from playing with him, and he just seems like he's really good at initiating the fight. He knows his role pretty well, and on this map, he just seems to know when to time his jumps, which is really, really good. So, if anything is going to disrupt, I wanted to call them Seven for a second, but the Perminators, it'll be Alfie. I think that's the discerning factor for that team.
Alright, okay, so you think, even despite the fact that it's Viaduct, not very roamer-friendly mapped, at least typically anyway, do you think the roamer is where it's at?
Yeah, I do, and we are actually going live at the moment, so you can take away the first mid.
Ooh, okay. Well, I guess since you've built them up so much, I'll be watching Alfie on this mid scene. You can maybe do, sort of just rolling out to mid at the moment. We'll see. Sort of taking up the right-hand side at the moment. Not really too much happening. They're sort of just trading a bit of spam on the point here. The CK is just standing on the balcony, not really doing a whole lot. Everyone's just sort of waiting for each other to initiate the hand. They're not really they're basically 7, as we're saying, they're just waiting for stuff to happen rather than doing anything. But we do see the Roamers jumping in, Alfie getting a big bomb, taking him down, Buttnose, and getting really good damage onto Cadis, allowing Shaggy to come over and clean up that point. Despite that big bomb, it looks like Team CoolestMaster are going to take this point. It's just Samzy and Permzilla alive, and only Perm alive now, just running for his life. And yeah, it's first team CoolestMaster actually taking the first mid. I'm very surprised at that one.
Yeah, me too. I think they were just far too reserved. I don't think Cadis really took any position. Both teams were just sort of sitting there, and Alfie just took the plunge, I suppose, and just bombed that rock and just outputted so much damage on the point, and they were just able to roll forward as Viaduct classically happens in these team fights. But it looks like blue team are moving up this right-hand side. Team CoolestMaster just sort of sitting back. It's even Ubers, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of trades we have on the point. Rising looking to take this Uber forward, Alfie with a nice air shot onto that Uber player. Alfie looking to push forward, but Rising has gone behind. Oh, that's Buttnose actually. Getting some damage onto Alfie, misses the air shot, but does get cleaned up, and this is looking good for CoolestMaster on the tail end of this fight with Cadis going down.
Yeah, we did see Shaggy taking down Cadis. Rising actually taking a trade onto Alfie there, but in the end they might just be able to take this point, but in the end, yeah, Cookie gets a sort of a nice kill onto Crimer there, but yeah, Kerfell got that 40% Uber just now, and I think if Perminators want to do anything, they need to go really fast before they get that Uber, and there's just going to be another minute off the point. They're so close to capping, they can maybe just sort of edge them off, use these faster respawns to try and get on that point. We do see a trap. Not Detty, they could have got a double kill there, but yeah, they're just doing that. They're just walking across the point, taking the DM fight and capping it up, and that's really good play from the Perminators.
I don't think this favours them actually. I mean, they got that cap time really fast. They did not force the Uber out or even get onto Kuferal at all. And Cadis went down, so capping at that point actually got Cadis a worse spawn. So you can see they're playing around that. They don't have their main cooler on the team. They're just sitting back, waiting on that cliffside, probably building up the Uber, trying to set up some sack play. But typically we do see Cadis on this map fly in and maybe hit a double pipe onto Kuferal. But I think they're setting up this plays with both their scouts hiding around Kuferal. And here we do see the initiation coming out from Cookie, just trying to edge this point. Buttnose takes a lot of damage just flying around. Cookie with good health, trying to push forward here, but it looks like Shaggy is just drilling out damage across this point, and Cadis is just getting pinned back. But we do see the blue Uber coming out, and red Uber actually does have the better stability, I suppose, and blue team just looking very, very flustered at the moment, but they do get 2 entry picks, which is interesting.
Yeah, Rising got behind there and just decided that he was taking the DM battle and just completely crushing them, so despite that not really working out in their favour, they took the earlier Uber and they just sort of all backed up, played the heals, and then re-collapsing them. Rising doing a great job of winning the 1v2 flank on the side there, and looks like they're taking this forward hold now. Both the soldiers just keep making sure they keep that good spam down on the left side, and Cadis got his buddy of Cookie just to keep his back, you know? I mean, we don't see any off classes. I mean, it's been... Normally you'd see some sort of like sniper player or something coming out at Viaduct at this point, but yeah, the red team do look like they're trying to push out this main point, but Silver Tossbot goes down and the health is so low. Alfie and Mold are really low down and just got absolutely nothing out of that push whatsoever. That forward hold is just proving too strong for them.
I feel like that's a really strange approach to pushing out of a forward hold. I know you're supposed to go main door, but they just lost 2 frags and took so much early damage. Surely you want the information before you enter one of these doors. You typically can expect something, but maybe try something different. Try and bust your way through a different route or something. But the Pyro, the classic 7 strat, moving through this right-hand side, reflecting all the spam, and blue team are just so scared of this off-glass that they're just running away, and Cadis can do nothing to stop it, and they've got so much room off of this. Grimer taking a lot of damage top left.
Alfie's just taking that WM1 to another point, just WM2 walking out that right side, but in the end Alfie does eventually go down. I mean, Kuferal taking that Uber trade on the point with Permzilla and Cadis, but they are 1 down, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anything from this. Actually, Rising goes down in the back lines, so they are walking through now, and the soldier gets completely shut down, and that is just looking terrible for the team CoolestMaster. They just completely got crushed as they tried to force the issue there, but Permzilla did go down pretty low, but he is able to escape with his life, and I think maybe if they can get the heals up in time, they might try and set up that forward hold again.
That was really good. Rising bomb behind so that no one was looking at Kuferal, and I think Buttnose just bombed in and absolutely destroyed Kufero, and now blue team have a massive advantage. I felt like that was just really clinical play. They got the distraction in and then focused the vulnerable target, which was the medic, of course, and now this is paying off. They can just drill down the clock. Rising does go down on the left side here, so I wouldn't be surprised if CoolestMaster try and capitalize off this, but Cade is just outputting so much spam. Alfie wants the point, and they're just looking to edge this, but here comes the blue Uber.
Yeah, the blue Uber's taking in Cafero's actually all the way back out in main. He's got 66%, so they're probably going to want to just cut their losses and try and work off this Uber advantage. We just see both the scouts and Alfie sort of edging this left-hand side. The Uber is only at 85%. If someone tried to bomb on them there, it might prove pretty bad for them, but yeah, only 10 seconds left on the cap. They're really going to have to start forcing the issue. Alfie going down in the air there, and yeah, that red Uber does come out, but Permzilla is so far back that they're just going to be able to bring this Uber back in once they get it. I mean, only 10 seconds on the spawn for Buttnose, sorry, but we do see Rising actually bombing in from behind, trying to escape with his life, and somehow he does. But yeah, they're just edging this force, edging the point out, and the numbers on CoolestMaster are just going completely down, and that is looking like a first round going the way of Perminators.
Yeah, it seemed like Perminators just really had a lot more solid positions. They knew what to do with Rising, they knew where to place him. He was going behind in all the messy fights. It seemed like they played slow when they needed to, as you saw with that forward hold. And Kufero just getting absolutely dominated by these flankers. He doesn't know where to turn, and Shaggy just can't outmatch Cadus. But it will be interesting to see what happens on this next mid-fight.
Yeah, we just see Shaggy going down, only got 100 health, just to take the arrow actually, so he's going to be healed right back up. But yeah, oh my god, we see Alfie going for the massive bomb. He's actually just going behind them, just trying to create that big distraction play. Rising mirroring him. Kate is taking a fat amount of damage, and the health on Perminators is just so low. Permzilla dropping down, so if they just play these heals, Kefero is dodging and everything, and Samsey just about takes him down. But yeah, that was looking really good for the Team CoolestMaster there for a second, but they saw that their medic went down on Perminators and they just completely sandwiched them, and somehow it didn't lose a single other player.
I think one of the things to note is you can really see the different types of playstyle coming out from Perminators. You see the kind of passive Cadus, really reserved, baiting in the bombs, and then you just see Cadus and Cookie and Samsey just absolutely biting and just taking every single fight that they can when they step out of line. And CoolestMaster just can't deal with it. They don't know whether to play slow. They don't know whether to send Alfie in. They don't know which side to push. It just seems to kind of be shambles at the moment. But Shaggy bombs the top rock on their side and just can't really get anything done, but Crimer takes down Permzilla as that distraction comes in, and it just looks like massive airshot from Rising there, and he's going to taunt as well. Massive BM, just adding the tilt filter even more. But wow, what a play from Rising.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry to sort of just interrupt you there
crazy.
for no reason. Yeah, but Rising just completely shut down that scout there. Good play, but yeah, we do see Kefero up on the 80% at the moment, so I think if they just sort of do what they did before, just try and get that good spam out. But oh my god, Samsey taking down Crimer. Very nice shot from him there. But I think they're still going to try and walk across the point here. Cadus going down to such low health. But Samsey again taking down Shaggy. And this is just going absolutely nuts. Samsey is just killing everyone.
Wow. I mean, this is where they're just going to be a brick wall. Cookie's just going to hold the high ground, and they're just going to have Samsey watch every single angle. There's no way that they can bomb Alfie in, really, with Cookie on the high ground. But that was an amazing play, just getting all those frags despite having some sort of disadvantage.
Yeah, we do see Crime actually getting onto Samsey, making sure he can't get any more of those crucial picks there, and somehow is just about making it out with his life. But yeah, Team CoolestMaster just walking across the point, and they use that Uber, and yeah, they take the point, but 100% on the side of Permzilla. They're just going to regroup at spawn, wait for their Cadus and Samsey to come back up, and potentially take this in.
I think that was just more of a panic Uber. They saw that they had 3 minutes, they hadn't even capped yet, and they just wanted to get the point and start the fight quickly. But full Uber advantage here on Perminators, and Cadus looking to lead this charge, just clearing out those sticky traps, taking damage on the way. It looks like they're gonna have to pop super early around this corner, just getting healed up a little bit. But Cadus and Samsey leading this Uber. Tosspot jumping in, and Crimer looking to spam. Permzilla does get forced off. And Cadus actually gets dropped. He's not going to be happy about that one, but Tosspot goes down, and Kuferol actually falls as well, so really deep Uber pays off. And as I say, they just know when to strike, despite dropping Cadus at the beginning. Yeah,
I know. It was kind of unfortunate dropping Cadus there, but I mean, in the end it all seemed to work out. Like, the Team CoolestMaster were just in absolutely no position to face no Uber. I mean, You saw Kefero was like behind the rock for some reason. I mean, there was like absolutely no way that he could exit there alive. I mean, he was doing a good job to get to main, to be fair, but yeah, the bomb from, I think it was Button, was just taking him down. We do see Prime actually coming in that right side, but Rising seems to have spotted him. He's probably going to go down. I think there's 3 people around him. Somehow he does just waddle out without getting killed whatsoever, but yeah. We'll see what happens.
Look at Cadus. Cadus just outputting so much damage to these scouts, and it just enters free room for Rising to just jump into the backlines and destroy. Cadus actually getting possibly caught out. Buttnose goes down. Cadus goes down. Crimer goes down to the arrow. But it looks like Red are going to actually take this. Blue Uber is going to come out soon, and they don't expect it. Rising coming in from the backlines, just absolutely destroying kids. And they tried to make it messy, play them at their own game, but really it didn't work, and they didn't keep track of the Ubers as well as they maybe should have.
Yeah, I think I know there's kind of a debatable thing there, but they probably should have just let them cap off that Uber. I mean, with the amount of time that's got to decay, they could have just capped it off themselves, to be honest. But either way, I think it doesn't matter if Samsy's hitting headshots onto Crimo like that. It's not going to matter whatsoever. Just Shaggy and Kefero alive now, and the Rising bomb onto them, just completely shutting them down, and that is going to be the second round going the way of Team Perminators.
Wow, and relatively expected, but I didn't think... I expected Perminators to look a bit shaky, maybe a bit sort of on edge, like with the messy plays, but really they are so calculated, and they just jump on targets the second they step out of line, which is something that we saw the old sort of super teams happen to do. So it's really looking good for them, and I wouldn't expect any more than them to win this next round, but we should see what happens on this next fight.
Yeah, I'm just going to be watching Cadus right now. He seems to be doing a lot of work for his team, just taking a very aggressive stance here on this point, going down to 1 HP, gets the arrow from Perm, and then he's just dumping damage into this right-hand side while his soldiers and scouts just clean up house. We do see a soldier get onto Perm, but Cadus is having none of it. He just pipes him down with ease. That was an incredible play, and good combo there from Cadus, just walking across a point, trusting that Perm can keep him alive, and they're going to be setting up this forward hold.
I mean, Rising is just doing absolutely amazingly. He's jumping behind when he sees holes in the sort of stronghold of this fight, and really just comes behind when his team needs it. You saw Cadus hit pipes and stickies left and right, and Rising just comes in. He got 3 kills in that team fight, which is just amazing for a first team fight of Viaduct as a soldier. So, you know, we're looking at this forward hold again. It'll be interesting to see if it's not a car crash like last time from CoolestMaster.
Yeah, I know. They do look like they're trying to come through this main point. Shaggy and Mold taking... Well, actually, Mold's up on the spy right now, so maybe he'll get something. Buttonose going down, so this is definitely a good time for him to strike. Perm is really far back. He uncloaks, but I think everyone heard him there. Yeah, Mold is getting absolutely nothing out of this. And he's on the Invisawatch as well, so he can't just cloak and do nothing. But yeah, as that's going on in the background, it looks like Team CoolestMaster are just using that distraction. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to get the stab there for a second, but it was just as the spam came in. Perm popped it off, evaded the stab, but really that was very, very close indeed. And Samsy goes down in the back lines. They have that bad spawn on Samsy, so they don't really want to fight with one scout down. Alfie goes down, but Buttnose goes down in turn. And they're 2 down technically with Samsy on the run to the fight. Cadus very low on this left side, edging the point, but red health is just so much better, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're punishing this. Yeah,
we do see the Perminators just tailing it out of there. Cadus actually only on 33 HP when he was getting out there. But yeah, it's Cookie going in for a bit of a feed play. Does take down Mold, but yeah, I think the Perminators, oh my god, Rising just launches in, but he gets completely shut down by Alfie and Tosspot there. Just making sure to get rid of any sort of attempt there on the medic's life, but Permzilla got 100% over, just gonna be holding back on their cliff.
I mean, they have these good spawns, but I think what they wanted to do is do the same that they did last time, just go really deep with that small Uber advantage, just go as deep as possible, but it just didn't work. Tosspot up on that rock just destroys Rising, and it looks like now an even Ubers fight, which has typically gone the way of Perminators, but it'll be interesting to see how Crimer reacts to this, maybe goes behind or something, but Rising is the determining factor for most of these even Uber fights, and the blue Uber comes in.
Yeah, looks like Buttonose actually is just taking the initiative to try and go behind, taking a 1v1 with Prima back there, just seeing what he can do. But the Uber's still going on, just sort of tossing each other right now, trying to get some sort of time on the point. And Kefero actually goes down to Buttonose. Alfie does take him down swiftly after, but it looks like Perminators just keeping their health in really so much better position right now. And the players on Team CoolestMaster are just so weak that these bombs are just getting swatted like flies. They're all down in like 50 and 5 HP. Alfie, actually, we do see him coming onto that China area. Can maybe get the drop onto Pamzilla. Yeah. Oh, and he does! He gets it! Oh my god, that was crazy. We saw him, actually, I think it was Botnoser Rising, just, he saw him, got that really good spam rocket, took him down to like 10 HP, but he still gets those shots off and takes him.
And Permzilla puts in chat, "Thought you dead, gifted you second frag." Bit of BM coming out from Permzilla, but obviously mad about dying to random people that come behind.
Having a bit of fun, you know.
But we do see CoolestMaster looking to push this Uber advantage. Alfie just taking up some heals, looking to bomb possibly. They're just edging this point, playing the passive style that CoolestMaster have used this whole map. But Samsy comes up on the sniper and takes down Alfie, so that's a hole that they'll be looking to abuse now. And as we can see, Butno's just coming in there, pushing this left side. All guns blazing. Tosspot can't really do anything against the Kader spam. He's dodging around, but as you see, CoolestMaster just backing up.
Yeah, the health was just so much better on their side as well. If you look there, the CoolestMaster had absolutely no buffs after taking that point, and all the guys on the Perminators were just so healthy. And then when Samsy took down that Alfie, then it was just like, it was all gone for them. But they are taking the super, and now Silver Tosspot gets taken down really early, and this is just looking terrible for CoolestMaster now. Alfie having to run behind, but the Uber is just so much better. Cade is taking down Curfell, and yeah, this is just looking terrible. Ooh.
Mold got Perm at the tail end of that fight, so this is just going to reset everything. The times are even, the Ubers are now going to be even, but the only thing that isn't even is the spawns. So Red are looking to flood in, and they are using their spawns to their ability, and just flooding in. Rising on such low health gets cleaned up, and that was actually a very smart play from CoolestMaster, just to focus Perm and then really initiate the fight with the spawns.
Yeah, that was really good from there actually. I mean, it was looking pretty bad for them, but I mean, Perm goes down, and that's pretty much it over. I mean, there was such a good Uber from Cadis and Perm as well. You would have thought they would have been just able to take that with ease, but Alpha, you know, doing that big distraction play, bringing two people behind. And we do see them trying to take this point right now, but Rising, I don't know where he is, but he's doing stuff.
He was just looking to distract. Cadis gets taken down in the fray though, so does Butnose. Alfie goes down, Crimer goes down, so no soldiers on red side. This is going to be hurtful, but without Cadis in this point, it's not looking good. And we're just seeing the timer tick away as blue players get... Oh, but Perm Uber's on the point alone, eating stickies left and right, just getting juggled around and can't actually hold it. And that's actually one round for CoolestMaster, so they are, you know, thinking about what they're doing, and they're sort of countering the play quite well actually.
Yeah, that was an interesting play from Perm there, to take his Uber off, take the sticky, and then fly off the point instead of, you know, staying on the Uber and then Ubering his players that were coming in. But you know, I'm not gonna question it. He's the prime medic here, you know. We do go on to this fourth mid if you want to take us away.
Yeah, so we do see regular passive play, two soldiers on the left side, but double bomb coming in from red team, just destroying Cookie, and this should pave the way for red team just to move forward. Kuferal, nice little surf there as Rising gets in his face, but yeah, that was just such fast play. Like, that's exactly what you'd want to see in succeeding in Viaduct. Like, just really, really fast double bombs, moving forward with your demo man across the point, controlling the area, just distracting, bouncing around the enemy, and just cleaning up that damage. That's really incredible there. Yeah,
that was really good from them there. You know, they barely lost anyone. I think they've sort of missed the point here where they could have easily set up a forward hold, but the three-player sack wave coming in from the Perminators. In fact, everyone's going in. They do get the force eventually, but yeah, I mean, let's see. They got Shaggy. That was about all they got out of that, and Rising just pulling out the kill by not even letting them get that extra frag on their point there. But yeah, we just see 60-70% ad for Permzilla now, so they're just going to be trying to take this.
I don't think they're even going to wait for the Uber. I mean, the spawn on Shaggy isn't even up yet, and they know this. They've all got buffs. I would push off a demo man pick, and it looks like they are just trying to bust this through. Butno's moving in, but Permzilla flies high in the air, just dodges the air shot, and it gets taken down by Alfie in the back lines.
Yeah,
but Cookie and Perm just getting destroyed. Cadis goes down as well, and they lose that Uber advantage entirely, which is just not really what you would think from such timed players.
Yeah, I think the Rising sort of going down so early there kind of screwed them over a bit. They were a bit hesitant to try and actually go back in, but it looked like sort of they weren't 100% sure what they were doing, so Team CoolestMaster just worked off of it and just completely crushed them. I think if they worked off that pick of Shaggy, they could have easily just walked in taking a much less spam, but unluckily for them, they just weren't able to convert it.
Yeah, Cadus just trying to get some information, hopping over that wall there to take the heals. They're just kind of sitting there waiting to see if they can get picked with Samzy. They know that they have a disadvantage. They're just playing relatively passive, getting the information, and that's what I like to see. Not all guns blazing. They're finding out where Kuferl is standing, and they're just looking to edge the point, get some distraction in. And Kuferl actually gets forced to random spam. I think that was. I'm not particularly sure what that was, but Buttnose might get caught out here. But Samzy and Buttnose gets taken down, so this is going to be even longer off the clock for CoolestMaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's, what, 1 minute left for them to cap and then 3 minutes on the clock for Perminators right now. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to make something work eventually. They do have the full Uber advantage, so as long as they just don't beef this next push, they could maybe get some time on the cap, but we'll see what they can do. They're taking this cliffside again. Permzilla dropping down to keep those heals onto Cadus, just absolutely tanking it right now. And they're just walking across the point. As we see Alfie actually go in, get the force, I mean it was Crime actually, but Alfie's escaping with his life as well. And Kuferl actually up on the 75% Uber advantage right now, so if he can just stay alive, this is going to be so good for the team CoolestMaster. Only 22 seconds left on this clock.
Yeah, all they need is one money push. They just need to go in and wipe them, or at least kill Perm and Cadus. If they can do that, then they're golden. But it looks like they are going to move through with this 100% advantage and just edge the point. Very early pop, and they're just moving forward with Alfie, absolutely ruining kids. But he isn't actually... They're not chasing that hard, they're just looking to get the cap. Possibly a grave mistake, as now Perm has 60% Uber advantage, looking to get a bit aggressive, but they are just playing the safe game, which is not something you particularly want to do against Cadus and his gang.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 15 seconds on the clock here, so Perminators, they need to get in. I don't think they're going to get this Uber quite on time. They need to play this point, keep it alive, but they're just getting they're just trading off kills right now. Kuferl going down, but both the scouts are dead. They've got so much cap time, they do take it off, and then they just have to make sure that everyone stays alive here. Cadus has actually go down to Crima, but that is it. Permzilla doesn't even use that Uber to get in there. Both the scouts are still alive, but if the spawns are a wee bit later here, I mean, if Cadus isn't up to just thwart off all these pushes, then if CoolestMaster go fast enough, they could maybe try and force off that Uber.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no traps or anything. I think that last fight was a real testament to how much these legends know their roles. Like, they just went straight on the medic without even having any sort of effort. Alfie bombs in onto Perm, hasn't even been forced yet, but Cadus and Buttnose actually going down. So, not even sure what happened there. Cookie's just going to try and lead this Uber, but 3 for 3, and Perm gets forced, so that's exactly what you want if you're on overtime.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Perminators now. They got pretty much the same spawn times. If Team CoolestMaster, they're looking to walk through this main just now, trying to get some time on the point, but they're not quite quick enough to outspeed the spawners of the Perminators. So looks like they do have the 96%. They're going to be taking this Uber in just a second, and if they did play it like they did last time, use that Uber to get onto them, which they are doing now, and they're just playing the cap. Perminators are just so far away, they're not going to be able to get here on time.
Oh, that could be a big mistake, but they're just flooding in. It goes straight onto Tosspot. Amazing focus fire there. Rising just outputs so much damage, and here we see Cookie on the point just doing so much work. Shaggy just between a rock and a hard place. Kuferl eating so much spam on the point, and this could be another hold.
This is absolutely crazy. How did they turn this around? They were so far away from the point, and they had like 75% point time all capped up, and they've just DM'd their way to victory. And it looks like they're going to be doing that again, taking this Uber into them. Alfie on very low amounts of health, and Kuferl goes down, and that's a big pick that they were really looking for. Permzilla only on 40 health right now, just backing off to that cliff area, not really outputting any heals for his team, but he needs to be in the fight, and it's just him alive. That is it.
That's 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, they kept their healer alive, but he just wasn't anywhere to be seen, so they just all died in the DM fight that they wouldn't have won anyway.
I think that's all it comes down to, is just DM fights. Like, their pushes and their focus fire are absolutely impeccable, but like their decision making and things, and they're just losing the DM battles, which is something that you wouldn't usually think of Cookie and Samzy and Rising. But Rising is just getting focused down like so hard, and he can't really do as much harassment as he was previously. Crime and Alfie just flying in, take down Buttnose, but it's backfired. Cadus just a rock in this team fight and just absolutely pumping out damage. Shaggy looking to extend forward onto Perm, but not going to get anything ultimately. Goes for the sign, can't get anything.
Yeah, as you were saying there that Rising was getting focused, it seems they took their eyes off of him for like 5 seconds, and he just launches in, gets some fat damage and takes down the medic and the scout there, so Yeah, I think you're right in saying that Rising is definitely one of the linchpins in this team right now. He's really doing a lot of work for his team, especially like I think Rising and Cadis so far have been doing a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, they're living up to their status. But yeah, 30 seconds taken off the clock. And it's not that much. They can initiate a team fight. Now would be the time to go for a force, and you can see these two soldiers, as always, just flying behind and looking to get some damage onto Cadis. But yeah, just getting cleaned up. And Perm did force, so ultimately that is the goal.
Yeah, he was up on China there. Both soldiers were just staring at him, waiting for him to pop or go for the air shot, but eventually they just both fell to their death, and Perm still decided to use the Uber, but questionable play, but it seems to be going to be working out well for the team CoolestMaster. Only 1 minute off the cap right now, and if they looks like they're trying to just take it in with their advantage.
It's interesting to see how much nerves will now come into play. This new sort of team will often be feeling a lot more nervous when it's 2-2 and maybe run out of strategies. But unlike Cadis and these seasoned players, it will, you know, they're running the sniper now, so they clearly have some sort of strat in mind. And Samsy actually headshotting Grimer there. Rising goes down, but it's a better trade for the blue team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
as they do get the force.
they do take a 1-to-1 trade and get the force as well, so definitely working out in their favour. They do have that 97% Uber. Samsy opting to stay on the sniper. I think I'm going to give him a little glance right now, you know, see what he's doing, but unfortunately, kind of just walking in here, and Perminators trying to just edge this cap out. He does take down Alfie. Samsy doing a great job just making sure he gets those crucial picks, but Perminators ultimately taking this cap with ease, not even having to use this Uber.
Yeah. Red team look really scared, like CoolestMaster just sitting back, like almost waiting for them to be popped on, and blue team just don't pop. As I say that, they do pop through a force, but in that entire fight they just walked forward, and CoolestMaster just backed away, and that's not what you want to be doing on Viaduct, especially when the spawns aren't in your favour. So really, just maybe perhaps scared of the sniper, perhaps scared of the Uber. They didn't want to get Kuferal caught on again, but really being that much of you know, reserved isn't going to win you any fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were just kind of standing back there waiting for something to happen, but once they lose the point, they decide to all feed in instead. You know, they could have done it a little bit earlier, forced off that Uber and kept Kuferal alive, but we do see here Kryma getting Samsy down, but does trade with it with his life, and it's looking really good for them here. Yeah.
That was really good initiation, actually. I think.
Kuferal drops, actually, he goes on the back lines.
Oh,
this
God,
is just completely turned
that.
around, yeah.
Wow.
Mold and Shaggy are the only ones up, and I think Perminators are just going to walk back in here. Kuferal very unlucky there to drop that Uber.
Yeah, that's very clutch from him, especially after such a poor team play for them, just losing it in every possible way, and then he just jumps in and drops Kuferal. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this full Uber advantage. Yeah, and they're just scurrying away on this cliffside. They're just giving up the point completely. I think they're trying to set up their soldiers, but they're not even doing anything. It's just time off the clock. Like, you don't want to be wasting time on this map.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just unlucky there a bit from Kuferal dropping the Uber, but it doesn't even look like they're trying to go for any plays right now. They're just sitting on cliff trying to trade spam when they're at Uber Desad and don't have the point. They should really just be trying to initiate that fight, force out that Uber to see what picks they can get. And as I say that, we do see still nothing really happening.
I think they don't want to risk it. Like, they know that there's only 30 seconds left, and if Kuferal dies right now, they lose the game. So I think that they're actually just waiting for Uber and just trying to trade some spam, but that's not really what you want to be doing against Cadis. Blue actually forces off their Uber, Kryma goes down, and Alfie goes down, so no soldiers. This is going to be a very poor Uber, if I do say so myself. Cookie goes down actually, but Shaggy, and they have no one to Uber onto now. This will be really strange for them if they get able to win this.
Yeah,
Cadis goes down.
They do look like take down Cadis there, yeah, but that was really questionable. I mean, they do think it does look like they're going to take this cap here, but I mean, they had so much time to just bomb in, maybe keep Kuferal alive, and as I say that, he just gets completely destroyed by Butnose. 3 picks on the backlines here, and that is absolutely incredible. He's just taken another stance for his team.
Yeah, really the linchpin for his team, bombing in there, getting 3 frags, solo, 1v3, that's amazing from him. And it looks like this is going to be the map to Perminators.
Yeah, I don't agree with Team CoolestMaster there. They had about 30 or 40 seconds left on the clock. They could have went for some sort of sack wave. The spawns were in their favour. They had the Uber disadvantage. They just should have forced that up and maybe been in a better position. But yeah, first map going to the Perminators, and a lot closer than I thought it would be, I have to say. I thought this was going to be a 3-0-3-0, to be honest. I mean, Not
Yeah,
gonna
definitely.
lie, but really good showing out from Team CoolestMaster.
Really good. I mean, Alfie really living up to his potential. Definitely, I saw a lot from him. Tosspot being a really solid quantity in this match. Like he was always playing the right positions. But I feel like when you're up against such powerful DMers like Rising and Cadus, it's really hard to hold those positions. So grats to him, but it just ultimately, I think the Ubers came down to it. The really messy team fights where Rising was going behind, and you saw Buttnose bombing in late, and obviously Cookie and Samsy just really really consistent players that just sit back and do whatever they want, really. But Samsy on the sniper, what did you think about that? He did fairly well considering it was on offense quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's just what you can't really unlearn how to aim well. I mean, Samsey just showing that he's still got it after all these years. I mean, getting I think what a 3K or something like that,
Yeah,
just
that's true.
completely destroying them. So
And
a really
Buttnose
really
with
good
that
for him.
3K as well.
Yeah, but no, was really absolutely crushed them on that one push there, just taking down everyone to sort of secure that end. I mean, it was looking really good for them already, and he just made sure it was a thing. But I don't know. Do you want to look at some logs?
Yeah, let's look at the logs.
Why not?
As we're looking over the logs, one thing that I just want to discuss is that something that you have to have impeccably if you want to be successful in Viaduct, more than other maps, if anything, is focus fire. And I feel like the focus fire for CoolestMaster was just not as good as Cadis's team. Cadis seems like Cadis, as we know, a very, very vocal player, very knowledgeable about the game, and he can always see when people are out of position, and he knows with all those vocal players on the team that who's hurt and who's where, so he can always call that focus fire, and you can see that they're just capitalizing on it so well, and it seemed like CoolestMaster just were kind of all over the place. Someone would step out of position, you saw Cadis surviving on 1 health sometimes, like getting arrowed up, Rising wouldn't get focused down properly when he bombed in, that you need that on Viaduct, and I think in such messy team fights, you have to be coordinated and you have to isolate targets, and that's just not what they were doing. And I think that's what lost them the game ultimately.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Viaduct is one of those maps that you need a strong main caller. You need to know how it works. And Cadis, you can't argue with him. He's I don't think he's won any international lands but I think he's won pretty much every season of ETF2L for the past 4 or 5, whether he be on the coach role or be on the demo man role. Yeah. So I think he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to properly call, and he's been just putting himself in a position where he's taking a lot of heals, making sure that he is kept alive in those team fights so he can call everything that he sees and make sure everyone is as coordinated as possible. And just sort of the raw DM of their team is helping them sort of pull off the strats that he's going for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially, it's interesting to see for such a new team, but and they are called the Washed Up Gamers, but they're definitely not washed up from that showing. I know it is just like a mixed high team, some would regard it as, but literally, like, considering how close it was, they could have quite easily choked, and I think a lot of people are expecting them to choke in this playoff bracket. But I think in general they just proved everyone wrong. They sort of just like did their thing, did what they had to do, and really showed that they have that knowledge and they haven't lost it, and they're just not playing for sort of just frags. They're really actually implementing strategy and knowing their enemy's weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that Team CoolestMaster probably have quite a few different weaknesses. I mean, I don't think anyone on their team apart from Alfie has played in Prem, so maybe they're just lacking the experience. I mean, you could see there they were definitely doing a good showing, working off their picks and stuff like that very well, but it just, I think the raw experience is going to carry them here. And Gullywash, known to be I think it was a 7 map back in the day, or a Crowns map, which I think Cadis knows all the strats for this one inside and out, and I'm sure he's passed on that knowledge to the rest of his team.
Yeah, and as you can see, Rising, top fragging, drawing with Samsy. Samsy, very, very top fragging, 35-14 with 334 DPM as a scout/sniper. So that is crazy on Viaduct, if any map. Rising, as you can see, top fragging, just doing so much for his team. Cadis and Alfie on the bottom, but I really wouldn't say that that's any sort of quantity. I think Alfie was low DPM, high impact, if anything. You saw him just getting the forces and the picks that he needed all the time, like bombing behind. So I really don't think the logs portray his play that well. Tosspot and Buttnose and Crimer like in the middle of the table, which is probably what you'd expect from what you saw in the game. But Buttnose definitely had a good showing. Mold, decent on frags as well, just doing his thing. I've never actually seen him play scout properly. He's always on the medic role, so I mean it's interesting to see him actually doing well and doing doing decent on the scout roll, especially on such a scout heavy map. And Shaggy, the 427 DPM.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy stuff there, but I didn't really see much of him, and I saw him getting caught out quite a lot. So regardless of how high damage it was, he seemed overly aggressive at times.
Yeah, I think that's kind of his playstyle, do a fat amount of damage, but kind of pays for it in other areas. I mean, going 21 to 21 with that kind of DPM, just there must be something going wrong there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put out those stats and somehow be dying that much. You must be just like jumping in, doing crazy amounts of damage, but dying all the time in such a demo heavy map where you can just sort of spam pipes and get that consistent damage, which we saw Cadis doing. Yeah, it's kind of making me question his playstyle and how it sort of fits around, but I guess we'll see on a CP map how he differs.
Yeah, I think on a CP map it does make quite a lot of difference, because it's not just messy team fights left and right. You know, it's not just the soldiers initiating the fight every single time. You can have flank plays, you can have backcaps, you can have all sorts of different things. And it'll be interesting to see how the messy playstyle versus the sort of very consistent clinical playstyle of Perminators. Like, it'll be interesting to see how it works out on Gullywash. Cadis and Rising were just always consistent factors in that last map, but I think that's almost expected of Viaduct. The Demo Man to be a consistent role if he's playing the right positions and doing out damage to the scouts and things. But it'll be interesting to see how much the soldiers make a difference on this map. I'm really going to watch the soldiers, because there's so many things that they can do on mid. You can get really creative with your bombs, and especially on the second as well. There's loads of high ground that you can play with, the hiding spots, things like this. So I'm going to be watching the soldiers. I reckon Alfie is hungry for blood, and so is Rising. He's pumped.
Yeah, I mean, Rising's just been performing absolutely incredibly this whole time, and I think this is no place for him to stop. I mean, Gullywash is pretty good soldier map, and I think he's playing pocket right. Yeah, I mean, so he's going to be able to be taking those heals and just pounding into the enemy team. Just really, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I mean, as a soldier main myself, obviously, I like watching these soldiers, seeing what they can do. If not for just a few tips and tricks, just to sort of see that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm looking on. I think Rising, and I think Cadis as well, because you got to think about these mids are very demo centric as well. I mean, if you can get a good amount of spam into the enemy choke, you basically won the mid already. And Shaggy, known to be doing a lot of damage, so who knows, maybe his crazy sort of not a lust for life demo man, just doing crazy amounts of damage and dying a lot. Maybe work out on this mid, just doing fuck tons of damage to the people coming out of choke, dying, but it's already won him the mid. We'll see see what happens.
I mean, you said that it's a demo-centric mid, and I think that's definitely true. Like, I think people often get scared on this mid. Like, if things seem to be going sour, it's not like Process where you can sort of surf out of choke or put up stickies to lay your way in your escape. Like, it's kind of hard to get out of. You're funneling your way through this choke or this door in big door, and it's not an easy one to get out of. So if you really have to just commit or not commit. You know, you can't really play this half-ass playstyle where you just sort of sit around and what we were seeing on Viaduct, and you especially can't play this extra passive team fight playstyle where they just run away from every fight like CoolestMaster were kind of doing sometimes.
Yeah, I think 5CP is a very different story to what they've been doing before. So I think if maybe they've been practicing Viaduct a lot, maybe that was their best map. I guess we won't know for sure unless I go through all of their logs. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be watching these demo men and seeing what these roamer and pocket bombs can sort of bring out for these teams. I think, especially scouts suffer on this mid at least.
Yeah. So maybe shutting them down will open up a lot of opportunities for CoolestMaster, especially because their scouts aren't on the up to par as Samsy and Cookie. But I think one of the things that I ought to mention wasn't Gullywash 7's best map, so when Cadis was coaching, so perhaps a lot of tricks up his sleeve for this map, but we are going live, zeFrosty.
We certainly are, and on this mid I'm going to be watching Shaggy, just going to see what kind of things he can do. You know, I'm curious to see what he's been doing this entire time, getting this 420 DPM. So we do see him getting some good damage here. Perm getting a little bit of spam, nothing too crazy. Cookie putting a lot of pressure onto Shaggy in this left hand side just now. But yeah, not a whole lot happening, just sort of seeing what they can do, waiting for the bombs to come across, and Butnose and Rising coordinating their bombs very well there. Rising does get taken out, but does get quite a good amount of damage, and if they can't work off of this, then this is looking really bad for the Perminators. Yeah, they weren't able to push across the point. and work off of those Buttnose and Rising Bombs, and it's just Cadis and Perm alive right now. We do see actually Kryma chasing deep into this lobby, trying to get onto Perm. He does get a good rocket, but Cadis pipes him down, and that's he's just going to back off. Not going to be able to get anything here, but yeah, Team CoolestMaster taking this first mid and second point.
Yeah, I think on that mid, like, you saw Alfie and Kryma getting damaged so early, and it's interesting that they didn't follow up on it. They just kind of sent their soldiers in blind without any sort of follow-up. That's a massive kind of peril of gully wash. You can often bait your soldiers a little bit when they just bomb in and you can't really cross the point if there's traps or just, you know, not a lot of health on your team. But in even Ubers, so this is where the interesting strategies really start. We do see a sentry out of Cookie, so the full Iron Man defense, and oh, but Shaggy goes down to Samsy's sniper, so this should maybe pave the way for some sort of sack play.
Yeah, but we do see Alfie actually trying to uncloak onto the medic there, but gets instantly focused down, and that's 2 picks going the way of Perminators. No Demo Man means it's just going to be easy walking through these shutters. Cookie actually is up on the sentry man on last, so they're just going to be... If they it looks like they're taking their time. Shaggy might actually be able to get here and trap some stuff off, but yeah, I mean, Perm...
Nice shot there.
Yeah, Perminators slowly working their way up this top area.
It's interesting that with the demo man down, they didn't push the shutter doors, because surely that's the fastest way out, and I know they had a sniper, but they could have just rushed it, like, honestly, but it looks like the pick does pay off with the Samsy pick. Rising goes down, trying to rush it, and Notorious not pushing off last, Cadis' team. And yeah, just, we're sitting back again, even Ubers. Mold on the sniper now, and Samsy also on the sniper, so we're going to see a little showdown.
Yeah, I mean, we do see Alfie actually taking down that sentry, so they've stumped their defense a little bit there. Cookie having to swap off to that scout, but I think they're just going to be trying to get work some space for Mold here. He does find an angle onto Buttnose, but unable to get anything out of that. We do see them sort of just shaping up on this last point. I mean, I did see a sneaky wee comment from Alfie at the start saying, please don't stalemate, and it looks like they've completely gone and done the opposite thing here, just making sure this takes as long as possible.
This is what I love about 6 is just sack and snipe.
Yeah, stalemate, everyone go to 7s, it's all over. Yeah, we do see both of the snipers just going to be doing that classic sniper joust, trying to take each other down, but at the moment it's just waiting for things to happen. We do see Mold sort of shaping up on that river side, deciding to not even go for the peak and swapping back to the exact same position he was in before, but yeah, it's looking fairly Resident Sleeper.
Resident Sleeper indeed. But
Yeah.
Mold looking to get a pick. He's just kind of sitting back, he's getting information I think, but he is trying to do that glitch spot on the door that has been done before. But I don't think that's going to work. I don't think G-strats are really the time on this map.
Yeah,
He's just peeking from main. Does take down Samsy, that's a nice pick, and that could have paved the way for this trade here.
yeah, Silver Tosspot starting to go for something, but walking into stickies is not really the best idea, and Mold going down as well. He gets a shot up onto Perm going down to like, what, 20 HP, so unlucky there, and nearly making a big play for his team, but yeah, just two people down, and Rising trying to go for a bit of a counter-sack there. Alfie getting the arrow to heal him right back up, and it's looking like they're just retreating back to last year. Not really confident to push off this, and it's 6 minutes on the clock already. 3 minutes of ticking down.
To me, that seemed really strange after your player went down, Tosspot went down before the push, to take a hero shot. Like, surely you take a hero shot if one goes down and you're all healthy and you're ready to follow up and protect you, but if not when you're one down, then that door is completely open, you know? So Tosspot does say stalemates love him. I'm sure we all love him as much as the next guy, but maybe make a play, Tosspot, instead of complaining.
Yep, that's always the weird thing is it's always the people that, yeah, it's the people that seem to stalemate the most that always complain about it, but you know, whatever. I'm not gonna judge them for it, but yeah, you're right. Mold is up on this heavy right now. I'm sure you can hear my phone in the background, but yeah, we're gonna be seeing this Highlander mains are gonna be able to try and maybe make some sort of play, try and get in this top right, repush with a heavy. And we do see the
take
Uber
over
trade.
from Mr. Popular on the phone as he answers the phone, but Alfie goes down, and so does Kuferal to the double donk there, or the single donk. Cadis actually goes down, but this doesn't entry anything for them. Buttnose going down, and it's just a singular fight. Red team do have better spawns, but it is just a regular team fight, and blue does have the advantage with Kuferal going down, but they're not looking to push off no buffs. They're just looking to build, play back, see what they can do with this uber advantage. If it doesn't work out, then just stalemate more.
Yep. We're back into this position, and we do see Cadis actually trying to peek into this lobby with Perm. Shaggy's got a heavy dose of spam from Cadis actually going down, and so does Cookie, but they do get the pick onto Krima, and it looks like they're going to be trying to take this in here. No Devilman to stop them come through this choke. Perm doesn't even have a Zuber yet. Both the soldiers are looking so weak on the side of the Perminators, and Shaggy's just going to play the point, and this is looking like a first round going the way of Team CoolestMaster.
That heavy paid off in the end. They just sat back, they knew that they couldn't push second into heavy. They got those 2 picks onto Cadis, especially. They just sort of rushed in with that heavy through main. He just outputted so much damage on the point when they dropped to it. And yeah, that's the first round in somewhat dominant fashion, if I have to say so myself. But we're going to this next mid, zeFrosty.
Yeah, I mean, 9 minutes or 6 minutes there, just to have that very successful push onto last, and going into this mid. Button was just very aggressive on this point here, getting some good spam. Alfie going down to just 10 HP, and they're looking so dominant on this mid, walking across with absolute ease, but Permzilla does go down. Nobody noticed that crime up push up there, and the health on the side of Perminators is just looking very low, but the numbers are just in their favour so much that it's not going to even matter. It doesn't matter if 4 players are down at the 30-40 health region, if they just all really well coordinated their damage there. And that's the first mid going their way, and can try and maybe push onto the second point and make it an even showdown.
I mean, Tosspot is down on Sniper, but it looks like a free second for blue team. I think that really ties into the whole focus fire aspect again, because Cadis and the 2 soldiers on Perminators were just so low and on the floor, and when they don't get cleaned up, it's very, very strange. Like, especially at the tail end of a fight, you expect your scouts to be buffed and just like running forward, cleaning up anything, but that's what I just said before, like, it's so easy to pussy out and sort of run through these chokes, you know, like, and if anything goes sour. So I think that's just what they saw at the beginning, and they just saw red and ran away. But I don't know, it feels like the Perminators could just do so much more to just bait them out and run forward, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a lot they could have done with that mid, but it seems they've just kind of just thrown it away. But yeah, looking at it now, we do see them just sort of going for another one of their stalemates. I mean, Cadis playing the style that he likes very much, just taking their time, but I mean, it's not really going to work in their favour if they're just 1 down already. I mean, they need to try and initiate something, get this round back, and maybe even work into getting a round advantage, but for now they're just... I mean, Team CoolestMaster right now looking in a good position, despite it only being 1-1.
So they push in, they trade, but this is where snipers do shine the brightest, but it looks like it's just a regular trade, and they dissipate the second the red pops. So they're just looking to take these Ubers out of the equation, see if they can get something done, but Cookie goes down at the choke, and Rising, and Samsy and Cadis all fall like a block of dominoes, and Permzilla is just going to hightail it out of there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good from Permzilla to... Oh my god, I may have spoken a little bit too soon. Alfie is 1v1ing him, yeah. Permzilla taking that health pack, but Alfie not having any of it just directs him straight into the face, saying, you know what, your surfs may be good, but not as good as my rockets. So yeah, Permzilla nearly somehow weaving his way out of there, but Alfie doing a good job to take him down. And now they're just going to be back on this very familiar situation of them just holding on last. They've got the sentry, they've got the heavy, and they're ready to turtle up.
Yeah, and it should work against 80% advantage, but I mean, 80% advantage is nothing to be messed with, and we should see them moving through the shutter door. It looks like they want to enter from. They're just peeking for information at the moment. I think they should expect a sentry and heavy as well. No pyro, which is unexpected on Dolly, but I think they're just happy with this stronghold that they've set up. The sentry does get spammed out, so I think this is going to pave the way for a push.
Yeah, it does look like they're coming that river side right now. Alfie is actually taking the Uber in. He's just jumped straight into a heavy, getting completely denied. Samsy's just shutting down any aggression here, but he does eventually fall. The spawn wave is slowly rotating to this left-hand side, but yeah, Cadis behind the point is just cleaning up house, taking down both the scouts, and this is looking like a car crash of a push for the Team CoolestMaster, just getting totally shut down by that Samsy heavy, and it's just Kuferal actually, and he's actually in river. If they're not careful, he could get his back cap. No, not gonna happen today, but that was nearly making that crazy play work out in the end. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No Umbrak plays today.
Yeah, Umbrak would be proud.
But yeah, I think just there they flashed 3 players through Riverside and they wasted their entire Uber on a heavy, which is not what you want to be doing, especially when you've got Cadus buffed them on the edge of the point. Perm does go kind of low, but they sack 2 players in, Mold and Krymer, and they're just looking to dissipate out this choke without getting the force, which is kind of rough on them, to be honest, because now Perminators should roll to this next point through the big door.
Yeah, they're coming through big door just now. Shaggy actually going to have to try and jump his way out of here, going down only 50 health right now, and he's going to be taken out. And that's no Demo Man on this last hold. They're looking like they're just wanting to take this in instantly. They're going to try and fight this before they can even get anything set up.
I don't understand why Shaggy and Tosspot were so far in. They knew that they hadn't forced the Uber. I don't know why they tried to hold the high ground with such poor health. But it looks like the blue Uber is coming in. They're all in spawn. There's no stickies on the point. Tosspot does come up on heavy, but look at Cookie and Buttnose just on the edge of the point, and they are going to cap it off. And that's 1-1. I mean, relatively close game, but mistakes and gaps starting to show on CoolestMaster.
Yeah, I was looking kind of bad there for a second. I mean, everyone was pretty low health on the Team Perminators, but just eventually playing that point, and it worked out to their favour. That heavy, not enough to stump the push, and then we're going into this third mid to see what they can maybe do. Cadus looking like he's getting some good damage here. Everyone's going this big door area, so Cadus not quite enough to completely stump them here. But you see actually that soldier of Kryma getting completely shut down, getting no position on that point now, but Rising goes in deep, gets some good damage, and his whole team have just walked across the point. Alfie getting airshot just now, somehow staying alive though, but yeah, this is looking good for Team CoolestMaster. They're staying alive, and I think this is going to be going their way, despite the fact that Rising got such a good bomb off at the start there, but Perminator's just not enough to quite pull it off.
Yeah, as you say, that bomb really did a lot, but they couldn't follow up on it. They weren't in the right position. Cadus was on the floor just spamming up there, spamming at things he couldn't really see, and it was just although they were in a blob, his sticky economy was just wasted, and they just couldn't really do anything. But it is an even Uber fight with Alfie on the spawn queue.
Yeah, and we see Team CoolestMaster just walking in no fears whatsoever, popping off that Uber from Permzilla and taking the trade if they can, but yeah, I think in the end this is just going to go well. Cadus actually just completely blocking off Tosspot, not letting him get out there for free, and Kryma is stuck in this drop down area with only 35 HP, trying to maybe not die, but I think he's going to try and pop up, see what he can maybe do. I mean, he's going all the way back. I think he's being a bit worthless for his team, not expecting that Perminators are just going to be taking this and so aggressively. Cadus going down very low, but yeah, Perminators trying to rush it a little bit there, and now Kryma's just completely got their exit if they're trying to go in here.
But Samsy and Cookie just cleaning up house. It looked sour for Perminators there for a while, but Cookie and Samsy just absolutely cleaning up house, and they're looking to rush to last as well. There's a soldier behind and only Kuferal on the point, and that's going to be 2-1.
It certainly is. I thought it was completely over there for them, but like Cadus, both the soldiers go down instantly. It was looking really good for them, but yeah, the DM of Samsy and Cookie just completely carrying them there and are able to convert that second push into the last point, so great job from there. Kryma not quite able to pull off that flank as well as he thought he could, but yeah, take us away.
So we do see Shaggy on this bit just outputting a little bit of damage. He's just kind of wasted a lot of stickies, and Cookie's just going to get in his face. Kryma goes down very early, and this is looking very poor for CoolestMaster. Buttnose goes down, but Perm goes down to Mold, flanking from the back. Cadus just outputting so much damage with those classic vibes that we see. But at the end of the day, Perm went down and Kuferal didn't, and they're up on Uber soon, so I wouldn't be surprised if Perminators just disperse now. But they're looking to kind of flank.
Yeah.
And the Uber does get forced. So.
Yeah, they got the force there. Both the scouts were just sort of DMing the 3 players there, but yeah, the DM of Cookie and Samsy just completely shutting down house, and Rising trying to get onto Kuferal there, but not quite able to escape with his life. Alfie taking him down, and he's taking down Cadus as well, and this is probably the longest mid-fight we've had this game, but yeah, they do eventually take this point, and yeah, I mean, that was a bit crazy. I mean, both I think the Demo Man and Soldier for Perminators trying to go on the flank there, but not quite able to work out. And,
yeah, Alfie's still wrecking house, just like cleaning up that one scout who's now got an 8-second spawn. So it looks like they're just going to stag. I would be surprised if they didn't rush it right now, but it looks like they're just sitting back. They know it's even Ubers, probably traps on the door, so they're just taking it slow, checking every corner, no hiders, no stickies or anything, and they're just looking to set up shop on this in this lobby area and see what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's Uber advantage for Perminators and round advantage for them, so they're quite happy to stay in that comfortable position that we saw in the first round of them just not doing anything at all, just staying on this last point. Kryma trying to go for a sack there, but getting absolutely shut down. We do see Buttnose going for the counter sack, doesn't quite get that force off from Kerferrel, able to keep all of his life points, and they're maybe going to be trying to do some sort of sack play off of that.
See, Mold saw the sniper there, so in my head, I'm thinking they're one down and they have a sniper, we're one down with good spawns. Like, in my head, I would probably push that, but perhaps that's just me being a brain bot. But I don't know, like, it just seems so strange that they saw the sniper and didn't try and capitalize off it, but I don't know, they're just playing too safe. They know it's a really close score and it has been for this entire fixture, so they're just playing it safe and seeing what they can do. But Kryma is up on the sniper.
Yeah, I think Samsey going back to spawn, checking the spot with the spy, seeing what off classes they came up with. So I think they already expect this sniper coming in here, and he's just getting absolutely pounded in lobby here and getting absolutely no opportunity to try and go off here. I think Alfie's just taunting people there, just looking through that shutter door, seeing having a bit of a showdown with Buttnose there, seeing what he can do. But yeah, we do see Rising just getting a bit aggressive in that flank side, just making sure he keeps that spam down, seeing if he can get anything done and maybe engineer a pick on the side for his team.
It's interesting to see the cages on the loose cannon. I think they need to take this into account if they're trying to trade, because they know that if they push Shutter or River, or even Main, they're just going to get juggled, and it's going to be really, really hard to force Perm. So they need to develop some sort of strategy with the sniper, or some sort of sack play. And as I just say that, Buttnose goes down to the sniper, so this could be an interesting time to trade, but they do need to watch out for that loose cannon.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to, maybe, they're edging the sort of, seeing what they can try and figure out in this lobby area. I mean, they do take the Uber through Main, get him straight under Permzilla, forcing off that Uber. Now we just see one of the players going under, both the two players actually going under, and Cadis is going to have to do a lot of work, at which he does, shutting down those scouts trying to bot onto the point and get some cap time. And this is looking like complete and utter carnage for them. Kerferrel up only on 40 HP, and Buttnose just going to predict him with ease coming through that river area, just shutting down that medic. And now they would be crazy to not try and make something work out of this, but it is them, so they could just stalemate this as long as they want.
Yeah, Kryma just trying to go behind and try and make some sort of sneaky play onto Perm, but KDS too much of a brain box for that. Shaggy getting caught in Big Door, looking very, very low health. Mold, relatively bad health as well, and it looks like they're just going to roll this, but somehow Cooper goes down in the back lines to Buttnose. That's crazy stuff. Hyper aggressive play from Buttnose, and it pays off. And it looks like KDS is just going to retreat back with his medic, protect him, get blobbed up again, healthed up, and they're just going to repush. Tosspot actually rushing him, but the loose cannon! 2 loose cannon balls to the face from Tosspot, and insta dies there. So interesting play.
Not quite able to get onto him there. I mean, it was kind of funny there. You see Tosspot get quite a lot of damage onto Cadis actually. I mean, if it was a 1v1 situation, he would have easily got that kill, but yeah, there's the heals out of Perm, just keeping him alive, making sure can't just W plus M1 into him, you know. But yeah, this is looking like a second point going the way of Perminators if they actually start getting on the cap point, you know.
And Mold dies in the forward spawn. He hears it being stickied up and still peeks it. That's a very strange play. And he's got a 10-second spawn, so it looks like they are just going to rush this through with their Uber advantage and 1 pick. They'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, we did see Silver Tosspot actually up on that Pyro trying to deny the Uber, but he's done absolutely nothing. They're already in. Just getting such a large amount of damage onto Alfie and Kerferrel. They've got those 2 crucial picks. Just need to keep Perm alive, keep these heals, and it looks like they're doing exactly that. And Cadis getting on the point, just going to try and cap this off. Oh my god, Kryma getting a lot of damage there, but in the end, just Rising, baiting his entire team. Not quite able to finish it off, but Kryma nearly completely clutching it for his team.
And that's 3-1. I think this is more of a scoreline than we expected, but still, you know, holes in both team. But I think Perminators are definitely warmed up. They're showing their true colours, and they're just having really clinical plays again. It's not as messy as I would have expected to be, and it'll be interesting to see how Team CoolestMaster sort of reciprocate that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to watch Rising on this mid, see what he can do. He's just sort of peeking on this lower area, seeing what kind of spam he can get, and he's jumping just now, getting completely shut down by the Silver Tosspot, but it doesn't even matter. Trading 2 for 2, and then Alfie also going down to Cookie as well. This is looking really bad for Team CoolestMaster. Kerferrel down only 50 HP. Buttnose not quite able to clean up that frag, but Cadis and Cookie are on this point and just get taken down. And this is looking really weird. I mean, Cookie is going down and it's just Perm alive, and this is looking like a mid going the way of Team CoolestMaster.
That was a really nice surf there from Kuferal. Perm just lets himself die, puts his hand up, says you can have it. An interesting thing to note in on that mid, Buttnose tried to jump the point and ended up lagging out and freaking out on the point and ended up surviving. So that actually helped them towards the end, nearly get onto Kuferal, but he just surfs away. But he was having a bit of a lag attack there on the point.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bit unlucky, you know. Having a bit of a lag spike is never something you want to do. It's just got that bit of a tilt factor. But it does look like they're going to be taking this Uber in from the riverside, and again getting completely shut down by this heavy in the sentry, and the 3 picks going the way of the Perminators, and this Uber has just been completely shut down. Absolutely no kills going their way whatsoever. This is just absolute carnage. You would expect them to at least get 1 or 2 frags, maybe even kill the sentry, but no, nothing at all. And this is just Kuferal alive, and he's just backing out of mid just now. That was very, very questionable there.
I think what happened there is they tried to rush fast because they got forced by Rising in River, so they already had a bad Uber, and then they tried to focus the sentry. One went down to a sticky trap from Cadus. Like, you never want that positioning, you never want to be bad health and flashing 3 players when you Uber early and not focusing any frags down, so that was just a car crash from the get-go, really. But we do see full advantage for Perminators moving through this big door area.
Yeah, we do see them just sort of waddling their way through. Cadus getting some really good spam up on this top area. Silver top spot trying to stop them in that choke area, but nothing to do here. The Uber is forced out. Shaggy going down to like just barely any health points, and Kuferal potentially going to get caught out, and he does get the pipe from Cadus, stealing the frag from Rising there. And Cadus is taking down Mold as well, and now it's just Crime and Tosspot are the respawners here, and they just, I don't think it's going to be enough. Tosspot up on that heavy, just getting launched away from the point, and that is going to be the 4th round going the way of Team Perminators. It's a really good show from them there.
Yeah, they've definitely sorted out their stuff and their holes. It's a shame that the same could not be said for Team CoolestMaster. I think their holes are broadening and they're just showing more gaps to be exploited. I think they're just running out of strategies. I'm not particularly sure how true that statement is, but it definitely seems like it. They're just sort of bombing an Alfie every time and expecting it to work. Crimer getting absolutely focused down every single team fight, and it looks like they're trying this right side mid again, but because it worked out last time. Rising going down very early, but Shaggy falls in the process. Silver Tosspot goes down, and Alfie just picking up Buttnose there, but it doesn't look like enough in this 3v3 team fight.
Yeah, I think they've just got to sort of cut their losses and back out here. I mean, they're doing a good job to take some of these frags down, but they're in such a bad position, and Cadus has got all that height advantage, and Kuferal has got a very low amount of health, and they are just trying to stay in here, trying to keep that spam up, trying to hold their position.
Kuferal is just arrowing players on the point from Big Gun.
He doesn't give a shit. I mean, he's got 25% Uber disadvantage, but he's a fragger.
Yeah, that's an interesting play, but I don't think Perm knows that he has advantage. They might know. They didn't see him healing, but Cookie goes down, and this is just going to stun every chance of a push. And it looks like Spot and Alfie are just going to move through. Getting juggled in the choke by Cadus, but this is an interesting trade. Crime in behind, and Alfie as well, so 2 soldiers on the back lines just disrupting any hold that Perminators had, but Mold goes down and so does Alfie.
Yeah, that was pretty good from them there. I mean, Shaggy getting that initial pick onto Cookie, but unable to quite get through that choke point. I mean, they're just trading spam here, seeing what they can do, but only 5 minutes left on the clock. They've got 2 rounds to get. They've got to really make something happen, and it looks like they are trying to. Shaggy and Silver Tosspot really getting very aggressive in here, trying to pick off Cadus, but they're just not able to get through, get that damage that they're really looking for. Cookie is using that sort of spam damage that they've taken to get a bit aggressive, but yeah, they're just trading damage right now, sort of going in, taking heals, taking damage, taking heals, and rinse and repeat until they can maybe get a pick.
And they need to do something quick. Like, you have to be in their head, put yourself in their shoes. Like, they need 3 rounds or 4 rounds to win, and when it's even Ubers, this is when K just shines. He can just lock off the choke. He knows every strategy in the book that they can use to exploit the drop down area or the big door areas. So you're not going to be doing that. So you really have to try something off the wall. I don't think stock trades through drop down is going to work, but it looks like they're going for it anyway. And they popped on the floor, so this is not looking good as Silver Tosspot goes down to a spire.
Yeah, that was a questionable play. I mean, normally the idea is that you go in through that drop down area, take that right hand side as if you're taking big door with no spam, but they go on that left-hand side and just split up their team completely. So half the team are taking damage from big door, and half the team are taking damage on that lower hand ground, and it's just completely worked out the way of Perminators' favour, and they're going to be able to roll this potentially onto last. Kryma is up in this top area, maybe trying to stunt their push a little bit, but it looks like he's getting onto Perm. Does get a lot of damage, but it just spreads it across too many players, and in the end this is not looking good for them here. We just see Alfie up on that poot man.
It seems like that was just gifting them a 20-second spawn to play off. Like, he didn't have Uber, so he wasn't going to get the force, and it was very low percentage chance that he was going to get the kill, so just feeding yourself with a 20-second spawn is and he's still not up, and he definitely won't be buffed for this fight. Buttnose actually goes down, but I think they're just going to Uber in anyway.
Yeah, he was trying to do some cheeky spy play onto Shaggy, but Alfie just eating his sandwich on the point. Just unfortunately no one's shooting at him, so it's pretty much completely ineffective, but he's up on full health now and just completely mowing kids down. This is absolutely great play from Alfie here, just rising up now, and that's it. They're just gonna have to completely get out. And maybe
this is their cue. They have to go now, but it looks like there's a spy. So it'll be interesting to see if we see a sideshow back cap, but it looks like that is not a possibility as the cap time is too strong. Rising just gets out of choke with the skin of his teeth, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Oh, he did switch off spy, so he's probably just checking off classes or maybe thinking about it.
Yeah, I think
Tossbot goes down, so this is going to stunt another push, and the time is running out for CoolestMaster.
Yeah, Cadis has actually just launched himself in, which might actually be what they were looking for. Kerferl does actually go down, so I think this is just looking like dire times for Team CoolestMaster. Everyone just completely getting mulched. Any type of aggression that they were going for, Team Perminators have just shut it down instantly, and all of them are up here. They've got that 70% Uber advantage, and if they convert this last point, that's going to be pretty much it. They've got 2 minutes to get 3 rounds, and if this goes to 5-1, it's over for them.
I think one of the things to note is, like, you really don't want to be constricted by the time against legendary teams, because they know how to play it, they know how to slow things down, they know how to control the pace. It works. The way to beat them is to keep it messy, show stuff that they haven't really been seen before, do random stuff, hide in random places, put random sticky traps up, things like this, just mess them about. But when you're just doing the regular pushes, just trying to scramble your way in and take a team fight, it's really not going to work, especially when they know that they have the time advantage, and they're just going to lock down every exit that you could possibly want, and just try and pick off your players in the back lines, and that's exactly what we saw in these last few minutes, and now it's practically over, so I think that's a GG for both these maps. Very enjoyable, actually, despite the scorelines.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's been a 4-1 so far, it's definitely been quite interesting to see how Team CoolestMaster are pretty much a complete and utter underdog team going into this, how they've been performing. They did take the super room, they might get Permzilla, but no, I don't think they are. I think this is not looking good for them, absolutely. But yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter, it's over. They can sort of just keep doing what they want. Permzilla going for the frags. Everyone's off class and having a good time, but yeah. What were your thoughts? Who's your standout player?
My standout player has to be... I think Rising. Rising just had like a beast of a game. He always knew where to position himself. He was always hyper aggressive, which I think works against these sort of lower level teams. And I think he just couldn't be stopped. And when you have a soldier who's just in your backlines constantly and just can't be stopped and knows when to jump and knows when to fall back, like that's just like the holy grail, really. And there's nothing you can do to stop him. So I think that he gets my MVP for this fixture.
Fair enough. I can't say I disagree. I mean, he's just been doing such a good job. I mean, yeah, it's really good to see these sort of old players. I mean, he's not really been around for a couple of seasons, and he's just got straight back into it, absolutely no questions asked. And yeah, it's been enjoyable to watch him, to say the least. But yeah, all the players I think have been doing a great job. I mean, people that have particularly surprised me, like Mold, a medic main that played only really played mid and stuff like that. I mean, seeing him take the scout role in preseason playoffs for Prem, and against such a sort of notable legends of the game, just still holding his own is quite an impressive feat, to be honest. I mean, really got to give it to him.
Yeah, gotta. You definitely do have to give it to him. I honestly didn't believe in him at the beginning. I thought he was a definitely very talented medic, but I've never actually seen him play scout, so I was a bit skeptical at the beginning. But he definitely he showed his true colours, and I think one of the things that we said at the beginning is this team is one of the lowest seeded, or like one of the lowest expected to, you know, do things, and I think that's interesting because when you're taking rounds off like the top 4 seeded teams, and when you're sort of getting that close a scoreline on such a DM heavy map such as Viaduct, I think it's really quite a feat to get that close. I'm not sure if whose side, if it was CoolestMaster playing well, or if it was Perminators maybe not playing not so well, but still getting that close a game down to the wire is quite a feat, and it shows that they do have potential and they can face maybe some of the lower level teams and cause some upsets perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think what I really want to see is these teams, even if they didn't quite make it, I want to see them go into high, and I don't want to just see 4 teams fold because they didn't, make it. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a team that, I mean, the names might not be that big for 60s at least. I mean, they've got a few Highlander sort of big names, and they've got Alfie, who's been on Dogs TF, played Prem in the past. They're definitely like a strong team, despite not really having those sort of flashy players that you would have thought. But they've got they seem like they've got a good enough DM, and they've got a few issues, such like, I mean, they were doing really well at the start, but as soon as they lost 1 or 2 rounds, they kind of sort of tilted a little bit and didn't really know what to do. So maybe if they just sort of keep playing together and keep up their team play, that would be really good.
I think one of the things that I've just been informed about in the chat is that it was Perminator's second time playing Viaduct together as a team. So they now have 50% win rate, and that's pretty good going into a playoff bracket. I mean, they did nearly lose, so I'm saying it's pretty good. But, they won it, so, that's something.
Yeah, you can't take that win away from them.
Yeah.
That's one thing you have to say. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. Do you want to maybe look at the logs for a little bit, just to appease the fans, see what happens? I mean, looking here, I mean, again, I was saying at the start, demo-centric map, we see Cadus just absolutely out-damaging everyone. I mean, 320, next top's Rising, who's doing such a great job, but yeah, Cadus just absolutely shutting down all these sort of plays, really keeping those points on lockdown and doing a great job on mids, making sure that his team could sort of keep in the game. And that was something that I really think it always really matters on Gully Wash. It's such a demo-centric map that you really have to watch out for them.
Yeah, I think something that we haven't discussed, because he maybe didn't have as massive plays, but I think he's just a consistent outputter of damage and just knows when to strike, and I think he plays really well into this playstyle that they kind of are developing, is Samsey. You see it from the logs that he was always ready to bounce, and he was just fragging everything. I think he was always in the back, just behind Cadus, just ready to strike, and I think that's just generally a really good asset to have on a team that loves to, like, pincer bad positioning and things.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most going into this season. If he keeps up his DM and stuff, he's going to be probably the best pocket scout that's going around. I mean, what is it? I think it's the Lash. Is he on pocket scout this season for 7?
The Lash.
I think if he can get up to his standard from before, Samsey will outshine pretty much every scout that's there, even Puyo and Flash and Funds and those people along those lines. Just great DM scouts that you can really look out for. I think Samsey's got the brain to sort of know when to strike. As you were saying, he keeps it alive when he needs to and goes in for those sacks when he has to as well. And I think he's just one of their standout players.
Yeah, definitely. I think they are definitely not washed up. I know they were against perhaps a lesser seeded team, and it'll be interesting to see how they move forward in the bracket. But as far as logs go and as far as performance and execution goes, they are definitely not rusty, and they are definitely hitting shots and definitely executing different strategies. So I think, I mean, really, they are one to watch out for in this top 4 sort of playoff bracket.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what we want to say. Was there when's the next games going on? That's what we really want to know. When's the next cast going to be repping? What are we going to be? We're going to be looking in the past. Do you know when the next game is?
Have a look. Don't particularly know. I think the other game is still going on now. So if you want to hop over to teamfortress.tv 1, if you're some reason still watching TFTV 2 like noobs and hearing us chat about nothing, then you can go over to Team Fortress TV 1 and watch that game, and I'm sure they'll have a lot more information than us about the upcoming games, and you can always check out ETF2L and Team Fortress TV for any information on the upcoming playoff bracket.
Oh my. It's like you do one cast and you just already got all the reps down, everywhere you can distribute the information like that. Incredible.
I am making up stuff on the spot, but I'm glad I had you by my side, zeFrosty. I thought you would make me laugh, and I thought you'd bring up old inside jokes, but you definitely didn't. You kept me stable, so thank you very much.
I'm trying not, I'm trying my best. It's very tempting, but I'm trying not to. But yeah, I think, do you want to just wrap this up and let everyone hop over to Team Fortress TV 1 and have a potentially more interesting game to watch than us just rabbiting about what we were doing. So yeah, I think if you want to close it off for us, I'll let you do that.
Yes, so we actually had quite a consistent 150 viewers that match, which was really, really flattering. So thank you all for watching. I've been Dolly. We've had Azazel on the cam, and of course zeFrosty on the play-by-play cast. And thank you all for watching. Go check out Team Fortress TV and the Team Fortress TV 1 cast. And have a good night, everyone.